A warm welcome to this epic show today. In today's show, you will have to read between the lines to get some major revelations of what is really going on behind the scenes on the national political scene, especially in the ongoing political duel between Team Keleweke and Team Tangatanga. But don't worry, if you listen carefully right to the end, you'll be able to understand very easily what is really being said. The evidence being produced before you, what it is really telling us. And in my view, it is something mind-boggling what this evidence is telling us. And it all comes out of the very curious incident in Machakos yesterday, where Kalonzo Musyoka made some remarks which looked harmless enough, but really provoked Johnstone Muthama till he stood from his seat and he started making his way to where Kalonzo Musyoka was making his speech. What? But even people who understand the Kamba language were puzzled. They're wondering why Muthama is so infuriated. Well, on my show today, you will have all the answers. By the way, a quick reminder, very few slots left for those who are interested in making a career on YouTube and with online video. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, check the description area below. Right, let's get this show on the road. I have done my research, have worked and reworked my material, and I'm sure it is going to be very entertaining, even as it gives you information that you may not be able to get anywhere else. Karibu sana and enjoy. Folks, I am very worried. I'm extremely worried. Why am I worried? I'm worried because of what I see on the Kenyan political scene. Because in my view, this is not politics. This is something else. Just take a second or two to watch this clip, and I'll be back, and I'll explain what I mean. This happened yesterday at a place called Mitabone in Machakos, and it was at the funeral of AIC Bishop Bernard Nguyo. Yep, all the politics is happening at funerals. Very sad. Now from the clip you will notice, former Senator Johnstone Muthama was quite at a distance from where Kalonzo Musyoka was speaking. And it would seem that had he been nearer, we would now be discussing another story. Another Simba Arati Osoro Kisi incident story. Now, I first met Johnstone Muthama when I was about 8 years old. Oh yes, and I'll come back to that story in a bit. And I've followed Muthama's story for a very long time. For decades. He has never been a violent man. At least not in public. And he is a mzee of politics. You know, when you get older, whether you like it or not, you get wiser. So, where was Muthama going? In the clip I've just shown you. Alikuwa anaenda wapi? Kufanya nini? What exactly did Kalonzo Musyoka say that provoked him so much? Now, you know, when you translate vernacular into English, a lot of the times you lose the meaning. And I dare add, if you don't understand current politics, especially Ukambani politics, you could also lose a lot of meaning in the words, even if you understand the vernacular language. That is why even people who understand the Kamba language, some of them, were puzzled and asking themselves, what was the provocation? Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua, who normally does not see eye to eye, at least politically, with Johnstone Muthama, But also in many other ways, Muthama has really frustrated Alfred Mutua in Machakos and many of his development programs. But this same Alfred Mutua came out and defended Muthama. And he has said that Muthama was provoked intensely by the remarks of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. According to Mutua, the provocation stemmed from the insinuation in Kalonzo's Kamba words that I have your wife. Utadu, what will you do? But after next year, I will return her to you when she is a senator. Now, in my view, Mutua's explanation was economical. Oh yes. He left out the most sensitive parts of Kalonzo Musyoka's statement. Let us have the full picture. Now, Kalonzo Musyoka said that after next year, Muthama will come and sleep on his chest. That is a sign of love, but also a sign of surrender, especially if the person you're talking about, lying on your breast as a man, is another man. In my view, it was a very deep Kamba parable, which Muthama understood immediately. And he also lost it immediately. He was furious. Let's break it down a little further. Kalonzo Musyoka said, after next year. Now, what's happening next year? There is a general election. Kalonzo Musyoka also said that Muthama knows where they've come from, and Muthama knows where they are now. What Kalonzo was saying is that you, Muthama, and your political outfit and your political plans have already been defeated, and you know it, and you know why. Let us be clear, the issue of the wife would not have provoked Muthama. Why? Because Agnes Kabindu, who is the Wiper candidate for the senatorial upcoming elections, to replace Senator Kabaka, who passed on, she is not currently Muthama's wife. She is an ex-wife. They divorced many years ago, and both parties moved on. Therefore, this issue of returning your wife to you, Bwana Muthama, which Kalonzo said, was a camouflage to camouflage the real message in his statement. And in fact, Muthama got the real message, and that is where all the beef is. Obviously, Kalonzo knows a few things most Kenyans don't know. Muthama also knows a few things most of us don't know. Now, just to remind you, Johnstone Muthama is the interim chairman of the UDA party. That is the party that has been associated with Deputy President William Ruto. In other words, Muthama is firmly in Team Tangatanga. And in fact, we can even say Muthama these days is one of the major faces of Team Tangatanga. And Kalonzo is very sure, so sure that he can stick his neck out to make such a statement to his political rival. He is extremely sure that after next year, Muthama will have no option but to look for him, and embrace him and lie on his chest, maybe to ask for forgiveness, to surrender, etc., etc. In other words, Team Tangatanga will be nowhere in existence, not even as an opposition. That is really what Kalonzo Musyoka was saying. He was delivering a message, a very important message, using Kamba parables. Kalonzo's message was also a powerful spiritual message. I shall not try to speculate, spiritual using which powers. But in Kamba tradition, if you speak to somebody else like that, what you're actually doing is declaring their future. Indeed, in many African customs, if a mzee speaks to you like that, you're done. You really don't have any future here at all, other than you're coming back to that mzee who spoke those words and asking for forgiveness, asking them to reverse their words. Yeah, that is according to Kamba custom, and I believe many other African customs. Now you understand why Muthama could not control himself. Now you understand why Muthama's bitter political rival, Governor Alfred Mutua, sided with Muthama and said Muthama was provoked extremely. Now you understand. Now, it is also important to note that this beef between Johnstone Muthama and Kalonzo Musyoka did not start yesterday at the function. No, it started in the run-up to the 2017 presidential elections, where at one juncture, Muthama said he was not supporting Kalonzo Musyoka. He was supporting Raila Odinga, yes. He was in NASA, yes. But he was not a supporter of Kalonzo Musyoka. And a reporter asked him, Kalonzo Musyoka is the running mate of Raila Odinga. How can you say you don't support him, but you support Raila Odinga? That doesn't make sense. And of course, Muthama did not answer that question. Yeah. According to insiders, this whole issue started when Muthama wanted to leave the Wiper political party. He has been the 100% financier of the Wiper party. And he wanted to be compensated before he leaves the party. Yeah, all the money he has spent building up the party. According to Muthama, there was no way he was going to leave the party. Yeah, because the party owed him big time. He wanted the party to make some kind of cash payment to him. At the time this was happening, the party had gotten another billionaire, multi-billionaire, to finance it. But why was Muthama so adamant in leaving the Wiper party at that time? That one we must also look into. It was all to do with the Machakos Wiper party nominations for governor. Kalonzo Musyoka wanted Wavinya Ndeti. Muthama had his own candidate. And up to that juncture, Muthama had a lot of power within the Wiper party. What he said was final. But this time round, the party leader Kalonzo Musyoka was firm. He stood his ground. He said, no. My choice for nominee Governor Machakos County to go into the election is Wavinya Ndeti. And that's it. So finally, there was a compromise. They were going to have an election to find out who's more popular on the ground. And Muthama went and campaigned for his candidate, spent money, did a lot of things. Kalonzo Musyoka was relaxed. Wavinya Ndeti spent most of her time on talk shows, on TV. Yeah, she was hardly on the ground, campaigning. And when that election came, Wavinya Ndeti won. Yeah, blatant rigging. You will remember the matter even went to court. Yeah, and the election was repeated. Same thing, same results. That made Muthama livid. And that is why he wanted to leave the party. And he wanted the party to pay him for all the massive amounts of cash he has invested in the Wiper party. So, this beef started a long time ago, in 2017. Indeed, it is safe to say that what Kalonzo Musyoka did yesterday was alichokoza kidonda. You already have a wound. It is healing, but it has not fully healed. And then somebody comes and scratches it again and draws blood. That is precisely what happened yesterday. And there's something else, in the same vein of kuchokoza kidonda. It is Kalonzo Musyoka, the Wiper Party leader, who went to look for Muthama's ex-wife, and brought her in and propped her up as the Wiper candidate for the Machakos senatorial seat. And you know Muthama's ex-wife has got a lot of very nasty things to say about her former husband. And of course Muthama looks at this as beyond politics. This seems to be personal. You know, sometimes in politics the world over, people use personal attacks to weaken their political opponent. Don't want their political opponent cool and calculating. They want them to be an emotional mess, so that they think with their emotions. And that gives the other party an edge, an advantage in a political contest. But in the case of this Kalonzo Musyoka versus Johnstone Muthama war, because you can't call it anything less, it would seem that the motive here is a little more than that. This is a beef, and this is two people going for each other's jugular any way they know how. And there's one man who should be feeling very vindicated, and that is Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua. Because during his entire first term, Kalonzo Musyoka teamed up with Muthama to ensure that Alfred Mutua's life was hell. They frustrated him at every turn. They were working as a team then. Indeed, Alfred Mutua, at one juncture, had lined up a foreign investor who was going to build a car assembly factory in Machakos County. Now, that would have been a game shot politically for Alfred Mutua. It would have meant many jobs created for people in Machakos County and beyond. And to frustrate this project, Kalonzo and Muthama went to court and contested the county land being allocated for this project. And you know how land cases go in Kenya. They take ages. And so the investor pulled out. End of project. They had achieved the objective. And there are so many other things they did to Alfred Mutua. And now you can imagine what Alfred Mutua is feeling, seeing his two enemies, the two people who had teamed up to finish him, going for each other's jugular. He must be feeling vindicated. And you know Kenyans say, malipo inakwanga hapa hapa. And don't fool yourself that you have seen the end of this epic battle. Nope. It is just getting started. It is just getting warmed up. Yeah. Now, before I go, I had promised to tell you how I met Muthama when I was about only 8 years old. You see, Muthama worked as a houseboy for a man called Francis Kalinzoya, a very close friend of my late political lecturer. And in those days, Bwana Kalinzoya was one of the biggest gemstone dealers this side of the world. And my dad had known him for years. So we would frequently go to Mr. Kalinzoya's house. And the cook, the houseboy, Bwana Muthama, would serve tea. And I'm sure Bwana Muthama remembers me very well, because he always used to have a problem with me, because I preferred orange juice to tea. For some reason, he didn't like that. And so you can imagine my shock years later when I discovered that Johnstone Muthama was no longer a houseboy, but a very prominent gemstone dealer. He, of course, learned the trade from his boss, his employer, and somehow managed to surpass his employer over the years. Today, Bwana Kalonzo is not the powerhouse he used to be those days. His former houseboy is now the boss in that industry. And I will tell you another secret, a very shocking one. One of the sources of inside political information for my political lecturer was Bwana Kalonzo, because he was very close to the first family. The first president of Kenya, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's family. And he was close to one of the family members, not Jomo himself. And so one day the story goes, Kalonzo was in State House. And he asked to go to the washroom. And he was pointed to a door. But when he emerged, Jomo was just walking in. And Jomo looked at him with those blazing eyes of his and asked, "Who the T is this?" I believe in the Kikuyu language. The T is because this is a family channel. And the president was reminded who this great family friend was. A very firm supporter of the KANU party, willing to help even financially when there's an issue. Let me just leave it there. Please remember to give me a like if you enjoyed today's show. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your time. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.